Hello and welcome to Be in the Room, episode 6. 6 episodes in of this going live every Monday to Friday series. And I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable these days. Week 1 was tough. Lives are not easy. Lives are tough. A lot of the things that I rely on. So I do a lot of facilitation. I do a lot of public speaking. And a lot of the things that I rely on when it comes to public speaking, they're not really present in a live. For example, I don't have slides in front of me. I don't have an audience in front of me where I can read, people's body language, or I can hear the snickers or some of those things. I can't feel the energy in the room, which is what helps me to be present. That's not even here. A lot of other things aren't present. I guess just that energy, that interaction. So I can honestly say that week 1 took some getting used to. Week 2, I'm going to just try and just lean into a little bit more of creating more of that energy that I feel that I've been missing. And hey, Kevin, welcome. And looking for all of you to help me out in that arena. Hey, Trishan. Hey, Music Maniac. Nice to see you guys. All right, so welcome to Be in the Room, episode 6. This whole series is about how to stop shrinking and how to start leading with purpose, especially as we step into 2026. I'm your host of this series. I'm Lauren Morrison, a professionally certified executive business and leadership coach, and I have created this series to provide you with the tools that I give to not only my clients, but to that leaders, organizations, Fortune 500, 100 companies are investing in these types of leadership programs so that their top performers can scale their leadership, scale revenue, scale impact, scale performance across the board. So these are the tools that many companies are investing in for their leaders, and I want to ensure that these tools are available to you as well. Why? Because I have them. I know them, I've lived them, because I've used them to help me to scale myself, and because I know that they work for my clients. And not all the time are companies investing in leadership in this way. So I want you to be able to benefit from them, from this type of training, regardless of the personal investment that you can make in yourself, and regardless of the investment that companies might make in you. All right, so that's why we're here. Now, in week 1, we talked all about emotional mastery, and we talked all about how our emotions, and when we are aware of our emotions, and how emotional intelligence is the executive toolkit to leading with executive presence, to making clearer decisions, to be able to increase your revenue. Because the fact is that when you know what you want and you're able to approach solutions with emotions as data in mind, then you're able to navigate them better and more strategically. So all of this, hey, Miss J, welcome. Hey, Sean, thanks for coming in. I was going to say hi to folks. All right. So then we're able to communicate with more clarity. We're able to make decisions. We're able to reduce a lot of that noise that comes with decision makings that causes people to swirl and move and slow themselves down. All right. So all of that work, internal work, is necessary, because first, before you can start to scale your impact, before you can start to go and figure out how to move the needle through others, you need to figure out what moves the needle within you. So we're continuing on that trend, but today we're moving more into strategy and planning. So part of my role prior to becoming a coach was I was in charge of corporate strategy and planning, and I was also in charge of project management and delivery, which means that here are 2 things that I'm very good at. I'm very good at helping people to create big goals that are in alignment, while also helping them to figure out ways to break them down into smaller parts, smaller executable parts, so that you could get big shit done. Because anytime we try to do big shit, it always seems so overwhelming. My goal is to help you to break it down into small steps that you can control in order to move the needle for what you want. And that's the journey that we're going on today. Starting with, what are we doing today? We are talking all about values. So essentially, before you go off and create a plan, a lot of times when clients come to me for these strategy intensive that I offer, they're always coming to me with pen and paper, and they're like, I just need help building the plan. The problem is that when they're coming into that session, they are building a plan based on a compass that's not calibrated. In other words, they're heading in a direction that feels like the thing that they should do. They're heading in a direction that feels like the thing that other people want them to do, that they feel like is feasible, is achievable to them. My goal is, before we get to that part, is to really dive deep on what is not working and what is driving those behaviors, so that we don't end up creating a plan that, number one, you won't execute because you don't have the confidence to do it, or you won't execute because you're actually not in alignment with it. It's somebody else's plan, not yours. And number two, that we're creating a plan that feels empowering and authentic to you, to your voice, to your strategy. So when we say this plan is hitting north, it is your north, not somebody else's north, your north, okay? Because the last thing I want to do is help you to create a plan that you're not going to execute, or help you to create a plan that actually doesn't meet what your internal desires for fulfillment will are aligned to. All right. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And once again, everything that I talk about in these lives, most of the things that I talk about in these lives are actually taken from themes from the book that I am releasing. It is Be in the Room: How to Stop Shrinking and Start Leading with Purpose. That book is available for pre-order on Amazon as of today, and it releases on January 20th. So please, if at any time you want to comment the word book throughout this live, you're going to get a link to your DMs that will give you the link to pre-order. How did I turn on a filter? I don't want it. Okay, let's take that off. All right, perfect. All right, so let's start in with today. So last week we started to talk a little bit about hidden limiting beliefs. So limiting beliefs are the beliefs that are buried in your subconscious that are actually guiding your behavior, sometimes without your knowledge. So here's what happens. If you look at your life today, you're going to notice that you're getting certain results. I should do it this way, actually. So right now, what that live asked you to do was, it asked you to think about what is happening in your world that maybe is not working for you today. So that's where I want to start. What is happening for you in your world right now that is not working for you today, that is causing you some level of dissatisfaction? What are the results that you are experiencing that are just not working for you? Because what we're going to dive into is these results that you're experiencing, what people can see above the surface, what you're experiencing above the surface. All of that is driven by what's below the iceberg, right? So this is tip of the iceberg, the results that you're experiencing, what people are able to see. And below the iceberg is what we don't often get to, which is what is driving that behavior, what is driving those results. So here you've got up here your results. Right here we have our actions, right? So what is driving, what are we doing, what are we not doing that is driving those results, okay? Then below that, you have your mindset. Below that, you have your beliefs that inform your mindset. Below that, you have your values that inform your beliefs, that inform your mindset, that inform your actions, that inform your results. And then below that, you have space. Now, oftentimes, because we have a lack of this, we have a lack of space because we are going so fast, because we're going from meeting to meeting, because we're trying to drive to other people's expectations, because we're essentially, like, again, moving quickly. We often don't take this piece here. So when we don't take this piece here, this is on autopilot. This is on autopilot. This is on autopilot. This is on autopilot. And this is the result of that. So today, I'm going to ask you to give yourself permission to give yourself this space. Because with this space that I'm going to guide for you, we are going to recalibrate what is happening in your iceberg, so that we can actually make sure that you're going to get these. This is your current iceberg, and then we're going to create your future iceberg. Okay? So that will be that. All right, let me clean this up a little bit. All right. So let's start. And again, you can take a pen and paper if you're going to do this, or you can save this live to do this a bit later because it might require some reflection. So let's start at the tip of the iceberg. Results. Think about this. Where you are right now. What is currently, I'm helping Kevin, what is currently not working for you right now? What are the results that you're experiencing that you're not okay with? For example, a result could be you're not sleeping well. A result could be you're living paycheck to paycheck. A result could be your business isn't flourishing. Your result could be that you're being overlooked for positions or promotions. Your result could be that you are overall unhappy in the role that you're in. So let's take this from a business perspective for a moment. Okay, so let's just say the results that I'm experiencing in my business are that I'm not making the kind of money that I wanted to make when I signed on to do this business. I find that I'm working really long hours. I'm not getting the satisfaction that I want. I'm not getting to work with the kinds of, I'm not getting to work with the kinds of clients that I want. I'm not attracting the kinds of clients that I want to work with, right? So these are the results that we're currently experiencing from a business lens. Again, you use your lens. Now, now below that, we can look at these results and we can say, okay, well, what are the actions that I'm either taking or not taking that are contributing to these results? So maybe I'm not working with the kinds of clients that I want because I keep saying yes to clients who don't fit my profile. I'm not getting the revenue that I'm looking for because I'm not charging the price that I think that I should be charging, or I keep discounting my rates for other people. I'm maybe experiencing the results that I'm getting because I'm actually not putting in the work to market myself. I'm not posting on Instagram. I'm not taking out ads. I'm not going to networking events. Now, all of a sudden, these results that you're experiencing, they're starting to make sense because we're clearly outlining what you're doing and what you're not doing that is contributing to these results. Okay, so now we can start to think about this. What is the mindset that I currently have that supports these actions or inactions? So perhaps the mindset that I have is I have a doubtful mindset. I have a scarcity mindset, so I say yes to everything because I'm afraid that nothing else will come. Maybe I have a mindset of hopelessness because I keep thinking that you're always the problem, Kevin. You know this. What I keep thinking is that no matter what I do, nothing is going to work out the way that I want it to. So that mindset that I have is a mindset of scarcity, a mindset of hopelessness, a mindset of fragility. I want to quit all the time, and a doubtful mindset as well, right? So if I have a doubtful mindset, if I have a scarcity mindset, now my actions make sense and my inactions make sense and my results, those also make sense as well. Now, we could stop here and be like, just fix your mindset. No problem. Change your mindset to abundance and then we'll start to see different results. Absolutely. You can stop there. But I'm going to ask you to go deeper. Okay? We're getting below the iceberg. Now, this is beliefs. This layer right here is beliefs. There are 3 kinds of beliefs that I want you to explore. Your belief about self, your belief about others, and your belief about either your business or your career, whatever your relationship, whatever it is, whatever the context is, okay? So, going to belief about self. What is it that I believe about myself that is currently contributing to this mindset of scarcity? The belief I have about myself could sound like I don't have what it takes to deliver. I don't have what it takes to deliver powerful results to my clients. I'm not qualified enough to deliver powerful results to my clients. I don't have enough case studies. I don't have enough testimonials. I can't do it for myself, so I can't do it for others. Okay? So that could be your belief about self. I don't have what it takes to deliver the kinds of results that would warrant the price that I want to charge in order to increase my revenue. I don't have the confidence. I'm not I'm not pretty enough to be marketing myself. It could be anything. I'm not valuable enough to ask for that promotion. I'm not, what else could another one be that could be kind of hidden? I'm not liked enough to I'm not liked enough to have the kind of network that I need in order to get ahead. Okay? It could be anything. Now, moving on to the mindset that you have about others. So if the mindset I have, the belief that I have about myself is that I'm not valuable enough, then the belief that I have about others is that others will not pay me what it takes. Others will reject me for the price that I want to charge. Others will not see the value in what I have to give. Others will not be able to experience the kind of transformation that I'm offering with my business or product or whatever. Yeah, you might not be handsome enough. I don't know the answer. Okay. So again, now things are starting to make sense. And then about your business, right? So about your business or about your career, you might have the belief that maybe this is all that I was supposed to do. Maybe this is as far as as I was ever supposed to go. I don't know my niche. I don't know what I want to do. And people don't care. The other thing that could be here or here is that people don't care about the thing that I actually want to offer, or the market is so saturated that I don't have what it takes to stand out from a business perspective. So again, you can kind of see now, if I have a belief about myself that I'm not qualified enough to provide value, if I have a belief that others will not see my value and others will not will don't have the money to pay for my services, and if I believe that my business needs to stay small because that's the market that I'm serving, because that's as far as I can go, because it's so saturated, now it makes sense that I have a scarcity mindset. Now it makes sense that I'm not marketing myself, that I'm saying yes to clients who aren't in alignment. Now it makes sense that I'm actually not networking. And now my results make even more sense. That's why I'm not seeing the results that I want to see. It's not necessarily just because of my actions or inactions, but it's where it's coming from, this belief of self. Now, we can stop there, but we can go a level deeper. I'm going to force you to go a level deeper. And that is on values, because your values are what shape your beliefs. Your values are what shape your mindset. And all of that works upwards towards your results. So, values that I currently have. Maybe my value is status. I don't want people to see me fail, so I'd rather just not put myself out there, right? So status is a value that I currently have that is not working, right? Achievement could be a value that I have is currently not working, meaning that I am so fixated on showing people that I can achieve that I don't want to I don't want to take risks and try things that I know that I don't yet have a track record for being good at. Security is a big one. I don't want to invest because I don't want to risk my security, right? Survival. If your current driving value is survival, then you're only going to potentially do what it takes to hit bare minimum and then conserve the rest, right? Now, again, there is nothing wrong with any of these values, because chances are the values that you carry here are what got you to where you are today. Chances are that there's been a chapter in your life where you had to prioritize survival because of the situation that you were in. Chances are you had to prioritize security because of the circumstances that you were in. Chances are you had to, the reason why you even have gotten to the place that you have gotten to is because you were fixated on status and achievement, and it got you here. So all of these values are really important, but the question is, are the values that got you here going to get you there? Going to get you where you want to go? Are these values that served you in the last chapter of your life currently serving you in this one? Are they working for you, or are they potentially hindering you? And the only way that we have the ability to do that check is, again, when we take the space here. Because you ever notice when you go on vacation, all of a sudden, when you take a few days off work, or some of you just came off being with family for the holidays, and suddenly you start to realize, like, man, I've spent some time connecting with my family, and I forgot how important connection is to me. I forgot how important quality time with other people is. I forgot how important my own personal values are, right? Kevin, you will always default to a life of crime. I never want to take you away from that, okay? I forgot how important these things are. And the reason that you were able to even do that check is because you had the space. So with space, we're able to do that gut check to see, am I currently living the values that I want to serve me? All right? Because this is the level where we can run an intervention. Where we can run an intervention and we can say, okay, if these values are currently not serving me, what are the values that I'm leaving behind that I want to bring in? So let's just say, for example, one of my values is taking risks. One of my values is taking risks, expansion, unshakable belief in myself, unity, community. Okay. If you believed that if you led with the value of taking risk, if you led with the value of community, how would that change your belief about yourself? Your belief about yourself might sound like, I've accomplished a lot already by taking risks before, and this will be no exception. Your belief about others will be potentially, I'm actually surrounded by more resources than I'm currently tapping into. Your belief about your business might be that that your business is able to thrive so long as you are targeting the right people, the people who share in your values, the people who share in community, who want the same things that you want, that are leading with purpose, right? Over, let's just say, profit. Which would, again, and if you had those beliefs, how would that change your mindset? And if your mindset was different, how would that change your actions? And if your actions were different or inactions, how would that change your results? So what you're going to do next, essentially, is this is your current state iceberg. Now you're going to wipe the board clean and you're going to say, okay, what is my new future? What does the new future look like? What are the results that I want to have? So let's just say the results I want to have are I want my business to hit 7 figures. I want to have money that's saved up for my kids' education. I want to ensure that I'm working out on a daily basis and, getting enough sleep. So for example, let's just say that those could be some results. I have an increased following on social media, and I have a consistent pipeline of clients coming in. These are the results that I want to see in my new future. Okay, cool. Now, if you want those results, what are the actions or inactions that would drive those results? So actions could be potentially creating an offer that is fit for my ideal clients, creating key messaging to go out on social media, putting myself up on social media, saying no to clients who aren't in alignment with the work that I currently do, saying no to not giving my business the time that it needs because I'm focused on other people's priorities, for example. So again, Those are the actions or inactions that would drive those results. And if I was going to drive those actions, what would my mindset need to be? My mindset would need to be focused. My mindset would need to be determined. My mindset would need to be growth, abundance, resilience. That's the mindset that I would need to adopt. Okay. And if I was going to have that mindset, what would I need to believe about myself? I would need to believe that I'm skilled enough to deliver incredible results. I would need to believe that I am enough. I would need to believe that my case studies or my current testimonials are powerful enough to convince others. I would need to believe that people will get results when working with me. And I would need to believe that living in my values is going to create ultimate fulfillment, right? So again, belief about self, others, your business. All right. Now, what would your new priorities and values be? Again, I'm not saying you take away the other values. I'm not saying you stop valuing achievement. I'm not saying you stop valuing security. But the question is does it need to be as high on the priority list as it currently is today? What would happen? What would be different if your new value was taking risk? What would be different if your new priority was expansion? What would be different if your priority or your value and your belief was unshakable? All of these things, suddenly, if you work from the bottom up, now you're in a much better place to hit results that actually mean something to you, right? That actually are in alignment with not only who you are today, but who you want to continue becoming. That's how we know that the plan that we're creating is fueled by excitement. A plan that you're creating is fueled by confidence because you've done the work to actually reverse engineer it and get it down to a place where you can see yourself achieving, learning, growing. And if you are living these values that you prioritize here, these results may not be guaranteed, but the journey towards those results in and of itself is going to feel so much more fulfilling. Because again, all of this here, this is with your control. This is 100% within your control. These results up here, they're variable. Which means that if you're going to be if the biggest part of the iceberg is within your control, then make sure that this part, that living in this, is what brings you fulfillment, not waiting for this to happen to become fulfilled, to feel joyful, to feel accomplished, to feel valued. It's got to be on your journey up. Otherwise, you're just going to quit. You're just going to quit. You're just going to quit the plan. Okay? All right. So that is it for today. Now, tomorrow, all of this is a precursor because I want you to start. The whole purpose of today was to get you to calibrate your compass based on your values, because tomorrow I'm going to introduce you to my sticky note method. And this is the method that I used when I was doing a whole life transition, when I was leaving my creating an exit strategy for my corporate job, leaving Canada, moving to Los Angeles, building my own business. This is the method that I utilized. What I did was I combined, I altered my methodology for creating long-term business strategies for a corporate 500, large corporate 500 company, and I modified them for personal goals. Okay, so I'm going to show you that method tomorrow. I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. All right, look at some comments in here. Doing your part. Yeah, that's exactly it. Just do your part. Do your part. And Leslie, thank you so much for joining and for always just being prepared to see insights into yourself. All right. Now, once again, I want to say thank you all for joining. If you are a fan of the types of things that you are learning in this program, I want to encourage you to comment book right now so that you can get a link to your DMs that will invite you to pre-order my book, Be in the Room, Stop Shrinking and Start Leading with Purpose, which comes out on January 20th, but you can pre-order it now. And it will be available. It's not available for pre-order in Canada yet, but it will be available come January 20th. So again, comment book. And all of what I'm teaching you now are, again, tools that I use with my clients. If you are looking for more individual breakthroughs, because again, these are things that I can only kind of give in a general sense, and everyone's context is different. If you are looking for an opportunity to figure out how you can apply some of these things to your specific context, I do offer private strategy breakthroughs that are completely complimentary. The first one, I should say, is completely complimentary, and you have the ability to go to my website, www.beintheroom.com, to book that strategy session with me. And I can guarantee you, what I will guarantee you in that session, in that 90-minute session, is a breakthrough that is going to shift your entire world. It is not easy to do this work on your own, but with a skilled guide, a certified skilled guide, you are going to see yourself go further, faster. There is not a single person that I've had that conversation with that hasn't started moving different immediately following those conversations. All right? So all of these resources are available to you. Thank you so much for everyone who commented book. Patrice is in the house with book. C ran 15 book. Sean said book. Kevin said big book, obviously. Softwood Life, thank you so much. And Angelique, good to see you. Yes. Awesome. Certified. Okay. Amazing. I will see you all tomorrow for the sticky note method. I got nothing else. Thank you all for joining. We'll talk soon. Bye.